Hey guys, Wednesday, August 21st, 2024. Let's see what the Black Widow wants to do today. So far, net gas, just kind of inside bar of the 19th. And right now, kissing the point of control using a 3-month time frame of 217. A little weak. Let's see if this holds. Statistically, today is very, very flat. So there really is no edge to the bulls or the bears. We might just maybe hovered here, or the Black Widow is going to take advantage that there's no edge statistically, and maybe she might wiggle her way around with her glass of wine, sprinkling on all of us. So let's see if what the price action could bring today. But so far, statistically, there is no edge today. Let's look at the simple glance. So far, MACD is positive. Weekly Woody's pivot's 217. Daily Woody's pivot is 216. And we kissed and failed the 20 SMA on the weekly. And on the daily, if we focus on the daily, we're in Chop Fest. In order to get out of Chop Fest, we need to close above 221 and then also 215 if you're a bear to get more aggressive move to the downside, at least to kiss maybe 210. But if you're a bull, you need to close above 221. And so far the range is pretty much on a daily is from 188 all the way to you could say 230, but if you go smaller time frames, it gets more fractal. But that's the big range. And right now we're in noise. The trend is still up. The candle is white, but notice this: the MACD turned negative on the 16th and turned negative on the 20th. Today is a it's interesting. Is volatility in regards to the ellipse technique. It was yesterday and today, and things got a little wild here. So even though the statistically doesn't say anything in regards to market movement in the past, it could ignore it and do its own thing. So just stay vigilant and be cautious with the Black Widow. Looking at our geometry chart, I'm going to use what retail traders use, and I have that here, Gann fans. Yep. So look, right now we're in a triangular pattern, and as of right now, failing this green angle. APF, you got some support here at the APF angle at 216, and on the channel, you got a pivot right here around 216 pretty much, yeah, and then 213, and then your midpoint will be 210. So this is your midpoint within the channel. We're going anywhere below here. Chances are we might probably test this low, but we need to hold this like we did on the 19th. Let's go straight to the midpoint chart. So far we know on the yearly pivot that 225 is a strong level. We failed it last week and we are failing it this week. On our monthly pivots, we know 230 is the midpoint, and we just kind of back and forth. You can see a lot of PPS buy signal, sell signal, and we're kind of like in this range between 230 and you could probably say, what's the low of this candle? 209. If we go down, this is your next support on the monthly pivot, 214. You can see that the mobile's already digging into the mobile bands. And you can see the green line and the blue are starting to point lower. So it looks like spikes up will be selling points or snapbacks back to the downside. So the momentum looks like it's turning here, which I don't like. And that's on the daily chart. On a 4-hour chart, you can see even more detail that this pivot high, this was yesterday, where the Black Widow got some bulls trapped. And this is where she marked her territory and then snapped it back down. And on the 4 hour, the mobiles are negative. So any pops could be head fakes unless we could close around this 34.39 and be on this side, kissing the zero line. So yeah, you can see that Stokes are just clawing down or crawling down to the downside. You can see that we couldn't close above 220. So that's a sign of weakness, and the mobiles are negative. The trend is negative on the 4 hour and not looking too good unless this is going to be a bear trap and we're going to snap. But you can see that we have some lows around here around 217. So let's say we can hold in the US session 218. Your next target would be 216, this area right here, and even 213. Lastly, let's look at the hourly using our daily pivots. So we couldn't regain 222 on the overnight session, so it was just kind of sideways. PPSL signal now. And this is our low of US session, 217. If that doesn't hold, let's say your next target would be 214 all the way to 211. These are targets to the downside. If we're going to be just chopping around, or if we could regain 222, and targets to the upside would be at least 225 to 227. But looking at the 4 hour, it looks a little more on the weaker side, and you can see it already turning negative here. So it could probably be where we could be statistically range bound until EIA report, and who knows what that's going to bring. But we'll see. But this could probably be the range, kind of maybe going back and forth like this. That's just me speculating just because of the statistical calendar. But there's a lot of things that I noticed that it could probably turn around, and maybe the EIA report could probably bring that, but we don't know yet. It's all speculation. I'm watching the dollar. I'm finding some interesting calculations there. So maybe tomorrow, tonight, or maybe tomorrow, I'll be talking about the dollar. There's a lot of things. I don't trade the dollar, but I trade it using, I trade currencies, euro, pound, and the Aussie by looking at the dollar. And I'm finding some interesting things there. So check it out when I post it if you trade dollars or whatever, however that relates to the dollar. I'm going to sign up. Hope you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on nat gas.